My aim as a photographer is for you to see an image somewhere and say, that's Scott's image, he took that. Or, that looks like Scott's work, I wonder if he took it. That is my aim. That is what I want to... It's not my only aim, obviously, but that is what I want to achieve. That is what I want to get sort of like out there, is for people not just to go, that's a good photograph, but for them to go, that's Scott's photograph. Whether you think it's good or not, I don't care, but I want you to know it's mine. And that's the importance of original photography. And it is incredibly hard to get to that point. And it is something I'm still very much working on. And it is a lifelong sort of journey to go along. So, first of all, it's very easy in photography just to copy other people. That's easy. I can choose anyone's photograph and replicate it, make it slightly different, but, you know, basically rip it off. That's easy to do. And that is an important part of learning. Being able to go, right, what is this image made up of? What makes this work, this person's work? Let me try and... That's a great way to build those skill sets. And I think an example I often see out there's a picture of Apple AirPods, and I believe it's a Carl Taylor workshop where he's gone, I think it was a competition. I spoke to someone about this, where he gave a brief out for these AirPods, you went and shot them and submitted them to him. And that is a great technical learning there to go, right, here's the scamp, here's what I need to achieve, let me see if I can achieve that. That is a very good like a skill set to have, because when it comes to actual commercial clients, they don't want original work, they're going to tell you what you do. But here's the weird, bizarre twist in the world of photography. In order to get that job where they tell you what to do, you have to have original work. They want to book an artist. When it's at that elite level, they want to book the artist. So yes, you need to be able to do that actual activity and that exercise, and you should be constantly practicing those. And I think I don't know if he still does this, but I don't know if you all know Carl Taylor. He has a YouTube channel, he's got this huge educational studio platform based in Jersey or Guernsey, one of those little islands which are beautiful. And he does this great thing where he puts out a brief and you have to shoot the brief, which is pretty much what this job is. That is the job. But in order to get the job doing that, you have to have this original work. So when it comes to originality, you can never do something truly original. You cannot have an original thought. And I'm trying to remember what we used to call it when I did study science. Quasi-research? Something like that. But it's when you come out with something plug it out of thin air. Doesn't exist. So if you imagine, for example, if I tell you I've just seen a kangaroo with a panda's butt and an elephant's head, you can imagine what that looks like, even though it doesn't exist. But you can imagine that because you know what those three animals look like. When we start thinking about aliens and what aliens look like, they look a bit human, don't they? Because everything is based upon a concept you already have. And this is true for creating your original photography. You're not going to be able to go, let's just have, here's my original bit. What you need to do is plan that journey to that. So you might go, right, well, let's take myself, for example, because I find it easier to, rather than plucking something out of thin air, let's talk about how I got to my style of work. I like Hockney. I like pop art. I like bold graphic work. I like typography. I like things to be very much crisp, clean, bold, vibrant. That's my style. Obviously not physically. I look a mess, but I don't have to look at myself, so that's fine. The inside of my car is immaculately clean. The outside of it looks like shit because I don't see that when I'm driving, so I don't care. So, you know, this is starting to build the picture. I like iconic British food. I like children's food. I like sweets. And you're starting to build this pattern here. I like repetitive patterns, speaking of patterns. I like crisp shadows. And slowly we're building and building on this idea of what it is that I like. And then eventually, after years and years of honing this, it starts to come up with a body of work which looks like mine. And it all began when I took the spaghetti hoops shop during lockdown. And I want to make it very clear, like I made good money for a long time in photography, but the day that I took the spaghetti hoops shop during lockdown was the day my career changed. Because all of a sudden, instead of trying to shoot images to make money, we're in lockdown, I was like, oh, I'm kind of bored. I identify as a photographer, as my general personality, that's who I am, and I'm not doing it. So I went and grabbed one light, a tripod, a light stand and a camera and a lens, and I poured some spaghetti hoops out onto the floor and we photographed them. And the spaghetti hoops, they're iconic. They're an iconic British dish. Every child in the country has eaten spaghetti hoops on toast when the parents are like, Jesus Christ, you've exhausted me, just eat and shut up. That's the 90s childhood. And that's important. That's part of it. And then the repetitive pattern, and the bold graphic style, and the full. And that's starting. It's not my style personified, but that was the start of me going, oh, hang on, I like this. This is what I like. And from there, I've continued to build on that and to like experiment. Sometimes I've gone off too far and gone, no, this isn't it. I've gone the wrong direction here. We need to swerve it back in again. But that is how you come up with original photographs. It's building layer upon layer upon layer until you end up somewhere and go, this looks like nothing else out there, but it is made up of all these things that are out there. Trying to get to that end point straight away doesn't work. You have to go through the journey. You have to enjoy the process. The process is key. A lot of people think we sit there waiting for inspiration. We're like, oh, I am the artist. I am so I've had 3 absinthe and I've had a great idea. But that's not what happens. We turn up at work at 9 in the morning and we do the work. And eventually from that pattern of doing the work, turning up, doing it, turning up, doing it, eventually we strike gold. It's a numbers game. Much like anything really, you do it for long enough, you'll strike out. If you play the lottery for long enough, even if you live long enough, you will win it eventually. Now, rather than waiting for a weekly draw, we just make sure we're here 9 to 5 every day and cranking on with it. And that is what it takes to produce original work. There is no magic formula, there is no quick scheme to get there. It is consistently analysing what you like in the world, not just in photography, in the world. What it is that you are as a person, what it is that you fundamentally like and enjoy, and all of that sort of stuff, and then putting it into a step-by-step production house almost, until you get to a point where you've gone, I started here, I've ended up here, and this is my style. Now we're cooking on gas. Now we know what we're going to do. I hope this video has been of interest to you. If you like this sort of thing, let me know in the comments below. Do hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. It helps me out a lot as well. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.